teaching artist here at the New Children's Museum. The project that we're learning today is called Portrait Prints. We're going to be learning how to create our own stamp. The materials that we're using today are a foam sheet with an adhesive backing. We have a pair of scissors to cut out foam. We have a pencil, of course. Just before we do our shapes, we have to draw it, as well as a watercolor palette for our stamping. Of course, we have a cup with water and a paintbrush. And to create our stamp, we're going to be using a piece of chipboard, or people call it thin cardboard as well. And of course, our final step is to put it on a piece of paper. Our first step is to create our portrait. The portrait could be of yourself, someone you care for, or your favorite animal. If it's yourself, take a look in the mirror and see what stands out to you, what makes you unique. Maybe you want to highlight different features of your face, or maybe your hair. If this is a portrait of somebody else, think about in your mind what stands out to you about them. As well, if this is a portrait of your favorite animal, what do you like about your favorite animal? Do you like different shapes of the animal? Maybe you have certain features that you like. And then feel free to draw it on a piece of the foam sheet. Then I'm gonna start with, afterwards I'm gonna draw some eyebrows, and it's okay if it's not perfect. Then I'm gonna draw my nose. And remember, these are pieces of shape, so you wanna make sure that you're able to cut them out. And as well, my smile. And then also I'm gonna start doing shapes of my hair. And remind ourselves that we are gonna cut these pieces out, and they can be big, small, however you like. And once you're happy with your shapes, you can begin to cut them out. If you wanna add more shapes like hearts, feel free to add more. That can be your background, as well as you can also create a frame or a border. You can draw lines or measure out what you like to use as your frame for your portrait. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make 2 straight lines, and I'll cut them out, and then I'm gonna make some fun zigzag frames for the bottom of my portrait. So once your portrait's all done, it should look like this. And what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be going in and cutting out our shapes. So what I'm doing here is I'm just creating my stamp. So I'm just arranging the pieces that I cut out. So just kind of creating what it would look like, and feel free to make adjustments. You can make spaces either closer or further, however it looks better to you. And then I'm gonna create my frame, and notice how in my frame that pieces are longer. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and trim them down. That way they can fit. So make sure both sides are even. Like I said, if you notice things start to not fit, you can always trim them down. So once your frame is fully made, what we're gonna do next is we're gonna go take our backing, which is just almost looks like paper on the back. We're just gonna go ahead and go in and we're gonna peel it off. And notice that on the back it is sticky, so we don't have to use any glue or anything. We're just gonna go ahead and peel it off, take it onto our cardboard. And you can go however, like if you want to start on the border, or if you want to just kind of go with the face first. any start is fine. And the good thing about this is that if you stick it on and notice that that's not the place you want to put it on, you can always, for example, I can always gently peel it off and re-stick it on. So good. So you don't have to worry about if something isn't right where you want to put it. You can always make an adjustment. Once you have your pieces attached, it's gonna look like this. So the next step is to ink your stamp. You're gonna go ahead and take your paintbrush and then with a little bit of water, you're just gonna swirl it around in the cup. And then feel free to think about what color you'd like to use for your stamp. So what I'm thinking is for my stamp, because this is a reflection of myself, I'm gonna go ahead and take some blue. I'm gonna make my hair blue. I want to see what that would look like. So feel free to explore different colors. Think about what kind of emotions that creates in your image. Maybe you want to use a calming color like blue, or maybe you want to use something that gives you a little bit more energy like orange or yellow. And then if your paintbrush needs a little bit more water, feel free to go ahead and swirl a little bit more. And you want to try your best to make sure that it's well inked, so when you add it to your paper, you can see what it looks like. So that way it soaks up all the color. Once your portrait has all the colors that you wanted to put on, you can take your piece of paper. And this is also going to be your first print. I encourage you to try multiple prints. We're going to go ahead and lay it right on top. You can use your hands to smooth it around. Also, a fun technique is to use a pencil, even just kind of like roll it around. Because we're going to go ahead and flip it carefully, and then just to make sure everything's good, we're just going to press firmly. And then we're going to go ahead and slowly peel it off. Once your print is done, go ahead and set it down and have it dry for about 5 minutes. But while you're waiting, I encourage you to try multiple prints. So with your stamp plate, you can go ahead and move pieces around. You're more than welcome to explore different colors in your color palette and go ahead and create a new print and see what happens. Thanks for joining me in creating a portrait print today. Hopefully you enjoyed this activity. Hope to see you soon.